Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Elset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might need to see it, and drop us a positive comment in the comments section. All right, guys, so today, first of all, I want to tell you I'm sorry that I didn't record this. This video was supposed to have been done yesterday. Both of these were. And what happened was I got caught up. I got caught up like Usher. It's been so busy these last few days. I don't know what's going on, but out of nowhere, it just was so many things that had to be done and had to be done immediately. So I am here with these videos finally. So what I wanted to tell you guys was something very interesting that an Aquarius said to me. He said to me he could not understand why Aquarius spends so much time overthinking things that are not important. And he wanted to know why. He's Aquarius and he wants to know why. Like, why does that happen? And three other people asked me this question, but I was asked at different times over like the past year or so. So when he asked me in the comment section the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I meant to talk about that. And what I wanted to say is pretty basic. First of all, Aquarius overthink everything. Aquarius is a sign that is an air sign. Air corresponds with the intellect. Even though we're water bearers, we are an air sign, something that people confuse a lot. And when you deal with air in tarot or in symbolism or any kind of, metaphysical understanding, air is the intellect, is thoughts. So Aquarius is ruled by our thoughts. Geminis and Libras have this problem too. I don't know if it's as severe. If you're a Gemini or a Libra, tell me, is your air thing as severe as ours? Meaning, do you find yourself overthinking constantly? And I know other signs do too, but again, thoughts. So Aquarius have a lot of thoughts. We're very in our brain. We have a lot of thoughts. We have a lot of complicated thoughts, a lot of intense thoughts a lot of times too. But what about the overthinking about little small things that don't matter? And it was funny because when I read it the other day, I was thinking, like, this is so true. I was watching this movie called Warlock, and it came out in 1989. And the movie was so-so, wasn't nothing to write home to grandmom about. But in one of the very first seasons, one of the very first scenes, I could not get over the fact that his feet, the warlock was being held in a dungeon. They didn't tell you how long he was there, but he was being held in a dungeon standing up. And when the guy punched him, he fell and his feet went up in the air. And I noticed his feet were clean. Now, mind you, I did some acting when I was younger, small stuff, school stuff. And one of the things that I always remember about art, especially that particular medium of telling a story, a movie or a play, is that to me and to many of my teachers, art in that case should imitate life. So if he's been held in a dungeon, his feet should be filthy. The floor was dirt. So why did that stand out to me? Probably because of my theater background. But why did it bother me so much? I thought about it throughout the whole movie. And even after the movie, I was like thinking about other times because they kept showing his feet. I don't know what that's about, because on the trailer, he's barefoot and they keep showing his feet in this movie. She's nailing something and his foot gets hurt, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not sure, because at one point in time, they were saying if you take a witch's boots, it weakens them. So maybe that's where the whole feet thing came in at. But it was like skeeving me out. And not the fact of how his feet looked, because they looked pretty normal, but the fact they never got dirty. They didn't get dirty through the whole movie. And I was just like, I don't know how long he's been held in that dungeon, but they should have been filthy. Then he's, running around, he's going places, he's walking on a train, and his feet are still clean. And I was just looking like, this does not make sense to me. But why did that bother me so bad? That little thing is because I'm Aquarius. I'm just Aquarius, and he's right. Little teeny things we will overthink. It's not just the big mysteries of life. We overthink those too, but little things as well like that. And I've come to find that usually when I overthink something that's small like that, it's one or two things. It's either A, it's one of my pet peeves, like in this case, that whole feet thing and him, the continuity of it in the cinema, all of that whole thing is one of my pet peeves. Like I said, art should imitate life in that medium. And like I said, all them years of doing acting and trying to make sure that my costume and portrayal was accurate. So I guess that's why. And the other time that I overthink small things is when I have a big feeling about it. See, sometimes somebody hits one of your triggers, one of your pet peeves in the first case, but also it can hit other emotions. And sometimes other people looking at you like, what's wrong with you, but it's something that is small, but it hits your emotions. I have another example for this one. The one about emotion, there was this song, I'll never forget. I was sitting in the car with my girlfriend and our kids were in the back seat and we were going someplace and this song came on the radio. It's an old song and I don't even remember the name of it anymore or what the lyrics were. But whatever, it was a woman. It was a woman, I think she was rapping. I think it was hip hop. And whatever she said, I burst into tears. Everybody else in the car was like, but just in those couple of seconds, my mind had overthought that her entire monologue or her entire verse, I should call it. My mind had totally overthought the entire thing. And I think what she was talking about was sad. But in those couple of seconds of her spitting, I could see it in my mind and it just hit me right in the feels. And my ex was looking at me and she was like, because I'm not, the kind of person, she didn't know me that well. So she hadn't seen me go through a lot of emotion. So she was shocked. She was shocked. She looked over like, okay. And I was like, I don't even know how I explained it. I don't even think I did explain it. I think I just sat there and kind of just thought about what just happened. Because like I said, it was something that hit me in the feels. And a lot of times things will hit me in my feelings and other people will be looking at me like, what is wrong with her, because it's a personal thing, So I think with Aquarius is either one of those two things when it's really small. I think it's something that triggers another feeling or a memory or something like that. Or I think it's something that is one of our pet peeves, like in that case. I remember I was talking to this Aquarius man one time, and he was so disgusted because he was listening to a lecture given by some person, and they kept on getting the information wrong. But it wasn't big things, it was little things. And he was so angry. He was so angry. He's like, I can't believe. And he kept harping on all, it was like 2 or 3 things they said wrong. And he just kept harping on them over and over again. We had like a 3-hour car ride. And through the whole car ride, he was harping on the things that this lecturer got wrong. And they weren't big things. They were small things. It wasn't even important to the price of tea in China. The whole lecture, none of it was important, but he was so upset about that. And like I said, it hit some type of emotion in him. And I think it was one of his pet peeves because he did tell me, and a lot of Aquarius tell me, that they hate when people give false information. I hate that too. And I'm going to do a video on that. But I don't like that either. So I think that might have been what it was. But I also think that the topic itself was near and dear to him. It was something that he really cared about. So everybody else might have thought that it was, not important, but it was something that triggered something in him. So Aquarius do that very often. We do overthink small things, and a lot of times we don't tell people what we're thinking, so they have no idea. But every once in a while, if you sit and talk to an Aquarius, they may have been overthinking something that's really small. So if you're an Aquarius and you have the tendency to overthink things that are really small, it's okay. It's okay. Just try to get the energy out. That's what I do. I just get the energy out. I think about it, I think about it, I think about it, I think about it. I get the energy out, and then I just move on. So I forget about it eventually. If it's really small, I eventually forget about it. Like the whole thing with his feet, I'll forget about that, eventually. I'm getting ready to watch the sequels, so I probably won't forget right away. But eventually I'm going to forget that, especially if something else goes wrong or if I really like the sequels. So we'll see. All right, guys. If you would like to get a reading done, please email me and I'll hook you up. And thank you for being here. Come back soon. I got a lot more to say. See you later.